The sun peeked through the curtains of Maya's modest home, casting a warm glow over the kitchen where she stood, lost in thought. At 35, she had always prided herself on being a dedicated schoolteacher and a loving mother to her two children, Ella and Lucas. But ever since the tragic accident that took her husband David just a few months ago, life had become a whirlwind of grief and uncertainty. Maya had thought she was navigating the storm of loss with grace, but everything changed when she received a letter that shook her to her core. As she held the letter in her trembling hands, she could hardly believe the audacity of her in-laws, Margaret and Henry. They were claiming she was unfit to raise her children just 3 months after. "Mom, are you okay?" Ella's voice broke through Maya's thoughts, pulling her back to reality. The worry etched on her 12-year-old daughter's face mirrored the concern she had seen too often since their father's passing. Lucas, her 8-year-old son, peeked around Ella, his innocent eyes filled with confusion. Maya forced a smile, folding the letter and tucking it into her pocket. "Everything's fine, sweetheart. How about some breakfast?" But deep down, she felt anything but fine. The weight of the letter pressed heavily on her heart, and she knew that this was just the beginning of a battle she never wanted to fight. As she prepared breakfast, Maya steeled herself for the challenges ahead, determined to protect her children at all costs. She was their mother, and she would fight for them, no matter what it took. Maya sat at the kitchen table, the letter still burning a hole in her pocket. She had read it 3 times, each time hoping it would somehow change, but the words remained the same, a stark reminder of the betrayal she felt from her in-laws. They were accusing her of being an unfit mother, citing her grief and past struggles with anxiety as reasons to take Ella and Lucas away from her. Her heart raced as she recalled the details. "Maya, we believe the children need stability," the letter had stated, as if tearing them away from their mother would somehow provide that. The audacity of it all made her stomach churn. How could they think that uprooting her children from their home, their memories, and their mother would be for the best? "Mom, you look worried," Ella said, her voice laced with concern. Maya looked up to see her daughter's worried expression, a reflection of the turmoil swirling inside her. Lucas climbed onto a stool, his small frame barely able to reach the table. "Can we have pancakes?" he asked, trying to lighten the mood. Maya forced a smile, but it felt heavy on her lips. "Of course, sweetie. Pancakes it is." She moved to the fridge, her mind racing. How could she explain this to her children? How could she protect them from the storm that was brewing? Just then, the doorbell rang, interrupting her thoughts. Maya's heart sank as she recognized the familiar faces of Margaret and Henry through the glass. "Kids, go upstairs and finish getting ready for school," she instructed, her voice steadier than she felt. As they disappeared up the stairs, Maya opened the door, bracing herself for the confrontation. "Maya, dear," Margaret said, her smile not reaching her eyes, "we need to talk about this." Maya's heart raced as she pulled out the letter, ready to defend her right to be a mother. "You're trying to take my children away from me," she said, her voice trembling with anger. "How is that for stability?" Margaret pushed past her, surveying the house with a critical eye. "Look at this place, Maya. Dishes in the sink, laundry piling up. David would be devastated to see his children living like this." Maya felt her blood boil. "I'm a single mother, working full-time while grieving. Some dishes in the sink don't make me unfit." Henry chimed in, "But your history of anxiety and depression does." Maya froze, the words hitting her like a punch to the gut. How did they know about her past therapy sessions? "Who does that?" she whispered, feeling the walls close in around her. The tension in the room was palpable as Maya stood her ground, her heart racing. "You have no right to come into my home and judge me," she said, her voice steady, despite the storm of emotions swirling inside her. "I'm doing the best I can for my children, and I won't let you take them away from me." Margaret's expression hardened. "We're concerned grandparents, Maya. We want what's best for Ella and Lucas. They need stability, and right now you're not providing that." Maya felt a surge of anger. "Stability? You think tearing them away from their mother will give them stability? They just lost their father. They need me now more than ever." Henry stepped forward, his voice low and condescending. "You're not fit to raise them, Maya. Your history of mental health issues is a concern. We have records of your therapy sessions from years ago. You're not stable enough to be a parent." Maya's heart sank. "Those records were private. How did you even get them?" Margaret smirked, her eyes glinting with satisfaction. "We have our ways, dear. You should have thought about that before you decided to become a single mother." Just then, Maya's best friend, Sophie, burst through the door, her face a mask of anger. "What's going on here?" she demanded, her eyes narrowing at Margaret and Henry. "They're trying to take my kids," Maya said, her voice breaking. "They think I'm unfit because I'm grieving." Sophie's expression softened as she turned to Maya. "You're not unfit, Maya. You're a wonderful mother. Don't let them intimidate you." Margaret scoffed, crossing her arms. "We're just looking out for the children. They deserve better than this." Maya felt a surge of determination. "You don't know what's best for my children. I do. I'm their mother, and I will fight for them." Henry stepped closer, his voice low and threatening. "This isn't over, Maya. We'll be contacting our lawyer, and you'll be hearing from us soon." As they turned to leave, Sophie grabbed Maya's hand. "We need to get you a lawyer, someone who can help you fight this." Maya nodded, her heart racing. "I can't let them take my kids. I won't." The next day, Maya sat in a small cafe with Sophie, her hands wrapped around a steaming cup of coffee. The aroma filled the air, but it did little to calm her racing heart. "I can't believe they're doing this," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "How can they think I'm unfit?" Sophie leaned forward, her expression serious. "You need to find a good lawyer, someone who specializes in family law. They'll know how to handle this." Maya nodded, her mind racing. "I've heard about a lawyer named Rachel. She's supposed to be really good." "Then let's call her," Sophie said, pulling out her phone. "You can't fight this alone." Maya took a deep breath, feeling a mix of fear and determination. "You're right. I need to do this for Ella and Lucas." After a few rings, Rachel answered. "Hello, this is Rachel. How can I help you?" Maya's heart raced as she explained the situation, her voice trembling. "My in-laws are trying to take my children away from me. They're using my past against me." Rachel listened intently, her voice calm and reassuring. "I can help you, Maya. We'll gather evidence to show that you're a fit mother. We'll fight this together." Maya felt a wave of relief wash over her. "Thank you, Rachel. I just want to protect my kids." As they hung up, Sophie squeezed Maya's hand. "You're not alone in this. We'll get through it together." Maya spent the next few days documenting her daily life with Ella and Lucas, capturing moments of laughter, love, and normalcy. She wanted to show the court that, despite her grief, she was still a devoted mother. Sophie helped her gather testimonials from friends and colleagues, all of whom spoke highly of Maya's parenting skills. "You're doing great, Maya," Sophie encouraged. "Just keep focusing on your kids." But as the days turned into weeks, Maya couldn't shake the feeling of dread that hung over her. Margaret and Henry were relentless, and she knew they wouldn't back down easily. One evening, as Maya tucked Ella and Lucas into bed, she felt a surge of determination. "I won't let them take you away from me," she whispered, kissing them goodnight. "I promise to fight for you." With Rachel's guidance, Maya began to gather evidence to support her case. She created a detailed log of her daily routines, documenting everything from breakfast to bedtime stories. Each entry was filled with love and care, showcasing the bond she shared with her children. Sophie was by her side every step of the way, helping her compile photographs and videos of their family moments. "Look at this one," Sophie said, holding up a picture of Maya and the kids at the park. Their faces lit up with joy. "This is what being a mother is all about." May smiled, feeling a sense of pride. "I want the court to see this side of me, not the one they're trying to paint." As they worked, they stumbled upon something unexpected. While going through old family photos, they found a series of images that Margaret and Henry had submitted as evidence against Maya. The photos depicted a messy house with toys scattered everywhere and dishes piled high. "Wait a minute," Sophie said, her brow furrowing. "These photos look familiar." Maya leaned closer, her heart racing. "That's from our house, but it looks staged. I never left the house like that." Sophie's eyes widened. "What if they doctored these photos to make you look bad?" Maya felt a chill run down her spine. "We need to prove it. If they're manipulating evidence, that could change everything." They spent hours researching digital forensics, learning how to analyze the metadata of the photos. With Rachel's help, they discovered that the timestamps on the images didn't match the dates they were supposedly taken. "This is huge," Rachel said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "If we can prove these photos were altered, it will undermine their entire case." Maya felt a surge of hope. "We can do this. We just need to keep digging." As they continued their investigation, they uncovered more evidence of Margaret and Henry's manipulation. They found emails and messages that hinted at their plans to take the children away, revealing a calculated scheme to undermine Maya's credibility. "This is not just about custody," Rachel said, her voice serious. "They're trying to destroy you completely." Maya felt a mix of anger and determination. "I won't let them. I'll fight back with everything I have." The day of the custody hearing arrived, and Maya felt a knot of anxiety in her stomach as she entered the courtroom. The air was thick with tension, and she could see Margaret and Henry sitting at the front, their expressions smug and self-satisfied. Maya took a deep breath, reminding herself of the evidence she had gathered and the support of her friends. She was not alone in this fight. As the proceedings began, Margaret and Henry's lawyer Marcus stood up to present their case. "Your Honor, we have evidence that proves Ms. Maya is unfit to be a mother," he said, his voice dripping with condescension. Maya's heart raced as he displayed the doctored photos, painting a picture of neglect and instability. "These images show a pattern of negligence and substance abuse," he continued, his gaze fixed on Maya. "Objection," Rachel interjected, rising to her feet. "These images have been digitally altered. We can prove it." The judge raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Proceed, Ms. Wong." Rachel gestured to their digital forensics expert, who stepped forward with a laptop. "Your Honor, the metadata reveals extensive manipulation of these images. They were not taken at the times claimed, and we can prove they were actually taken at the defendant's residence." Maya felt a surge of hope as the judge listened intently. Marcus's face paled as Rachel continued. "Furthermore, we have evidence of harassment and intimidation that Ms. Maya has endured from the plaintiffs." The courtroom buzzed with murmurs as Rachel called witnesses to the stand, each one testifying to Maya's character and dedication as a mother. Maya's heart swelled with pride as her friends spoke about her strength and resilience. "She's an incredible mother," Sophie said, her voice steady. "She's been there for her children every step of the way." As the testimonies continued, Maya felt the tide turning in her favor. She could see the doubt creeping into Margaret and Henry's expressions, and it fueled her determination. But just when Maya thought things couldn't get better, Rachel revealed a crucial piece of evidence, a video showing Maya interacting lovingly with Ella and Lucas during a family outing. "This video captures the essence of what it means to be a mother," Rachel said, her voice strong. "It shows Ms. Maya's love and commitment to her children." Maya felt tears prick at her eyes as she watched the video play on the screen, her heart swelling with pride. As the video ended, the courtroom fell silent. Maya could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on her. This was it, the turning point in her battle for custody. The judge leaned forward, her expression serious. "Ms. Wong, do you have any further evidence to present?" Rachel nodded, her eyes gleaming with determination. "Yes, Your Honor. We have uncovered evidence that the plaintiffs have been manipulating situations to make Ms. Maya look bad. This is not just a custody battle, it's a calculated attack on her character." Maya's heart raced as Rachel presented the emails and messages they had found, revealing Margaret and Henry's plans to undermine her. "This changes everything," the judge said, her voice firm. "I will not tolerate manipulation in my courtroom." Maya felt a surge of hope as the judge's words sank in. She had fought hard for this moment, and it was finally paying off. As the judge deliberated, Maya held her breath, praying for a favorable outcome. She could see the tension in Margaret and Henry's faces, and it fueled her determination. Finally, the judge returned to her seat, her expression serious. "I have reviewed the evidence presented, and I must say, I am deeply concerned about the actions of the plaintiffs." Maya's heart raced as the judge continued. "It is clear to me that Ms. Maya is a devoted mother who has been unfairly targeted. I will not allow her children to be taken from her." The courtroom erupted in murmurs as the judge announced her decision. "I am granting full custody of Ella and Lucas to Ms. Maya. The plaintiffs are to have no contact with the children." Mia felt a wave of relief wash over her, tears streaming down her cheeks as she turned to see Ella and Lucas watching from the gallery, their faces filled with hope. "Maya!" Ella cried, her voice breaking as she rushed to Maya's side. Lucas followed closely behind, wrapping his small arms around her waist. Maya knelt down, pulling her children into a tight embrace. "We did it, my loves. We're together, and nothing can tear us apart." Margaret and Henry sat in stunned silence, their expressions a mix of shock and anger. "This isn't over, Maya," Margaret hissed, her voice low and threatening. Maya stood tall, her heart swelling with pride. "It is over. You underestimated me, and now you'll have to face the consequences." As the judge banged her gavel, signaling the end of the hearing, Maya felt a sense of triumph wash over her. She had fought for her family and won, proving that love and determination could conquer even the darkest challenges. As Maya left the courtroom, hand in hand with Ella and Lucas, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. The battle had been long and arduous, but she had emerged victorious. "Mom, are we really safe now?" Lucas asked, his voice small and uncertain. Maya knelt down to meet his gaze, her heart swelling with love. "Yes, sweetheart, we're safe. I promise to always protect you." Ella looked up at her mother, her eyes shining with admiration. "You're the best mom ever, Mom. I knew you could do it." Maya smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. "I couldn't have done it without you two. You're my strength." As they walked out of the courthouse, Maya reflected on the journey that had brought them to this moment. She had faced her fears, fought against the odds, and emerged stronger than ever. "I won't let anyone come between us again," she vowed, her voice firm. "We're a family, and nothing can change that." With her children by her side, Maya felt a renewed sense of purpose. She would continue to fight for her family, not just for herself, but for all the families who had faced similar struggles. As they stepped into the sunlight, Maya knew that this was just the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one filled with love, resilience, and the unwavering bond of family.